Just in this morning, if you own a Ford truck or SUV, or if you or a loved one takes maintenance medication for your heart or your kidneys, you need to pay close attention to your screen right now. We have a massive automotive shutdown, a 1 million bottle pharmaceutical pull, and a critical look back at some dangerous food contaminations that are still sitting in a lot of people's pantries. So let's start with the breaking news happening today, July 1st. Ford has officially issued a massive recall affecting more than 741,000 trucks and SUVs right here in the United States. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration dropped the report this morning, and the details are alarming. According to federal regulators, there is a severe software defect inside the powertrain control module. This glitch can actually cause the transmission's parking pawl to temporarily engage while the vehicle is in motion. What that means is that your vehicle's transmission could try to force itself into park while you are actively driving down the road. When this happens, it can severely damage the transmission's internal parking system components. And here's the real world danger for you. Once that internal system is damaged, the vehicle loses its ability to hold itself stationary when you actually shift it into park. If you don't have your emergency parking brake firmly applied, the vehicle can unexpectedly roll away, causing a severe crash or injury risk. Now, this isn't a hypothetical threat either. Ford has admitted they are already aware of 24 separate reports of property damage and 9 alleged injuries directly related. The recall covers model years 2018 through 2021. Popular vehicles: the Ford F-150, the Ford Explorer, the Ford Expedition, the Lincoln Aviator, and the Lincoln Navigator. If you own one of these model Fords, Ford will be contacting you by mail, all right? And dealers are being instructed to update the powertrain control module software to the latest level. Inspect your transmission for internal parking system damage and replace broken parts completely free of charge. Now, do not wait on this one. If you drive one of these vehicles, go ahead, call your local dealer or check your VIN on the NHTSA database immediately. Now, before we jump into the massive 1 million bottle pharmaceutical recall and that urgent food contamination update, I want to take a quick second to welcome all of our new neighbors to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you want to stay ahead of the corporate spin, protect your family from hidden household dangers, and get the raw facts on food and product safety the second they drop, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. I track these recalls on the databases every single day, so you don't have to. And having you all in our community helps us push for real product transparency. Thank you so very much to everyone who just subscribed. Now, let's get right back to the data. Moving from the driveway to the medicine cabinet, the FDA has just announced a major national pharmaceutical recall affecting nearly 1 million bottles of critical maintenance medication. The manufacturer Amgen is pulling over 934,000 bottles of critical heart failure medication called Corlanor, also known by its generic name ivabrandin. The specific packages under recall are the 5 milligram 14 tablet bottles, as well as certain 7.5 milligram 60 count bottles. The reason for the pull? During routine testing, inspectors discovered an unexpected foreign substance directly on the coating of the tablets. Now, the California State Board of Pharmacy has put out an alert stating that health hazard tests show foreign material does not pose an immediate clinical risk to patients, and there are no reports of adverse reactions so far. However, because the contamination happened during packaging, Amgen is pulling every single lot within expiration that has passed through that specific building, just as a precaution. These contaminated bottles were distributed nationwide between October 2021 and late December 2025. But that's not all. Amgen is also recalling over 9,500 bottles of Sensipar, which is a generic kidney medication used by patients on dialysis. The FDA hit the Sensipar lots with a recall notice due to a major deviation in current good manufacturing practices. If you or a family member relies on Corlanor for heart failure or Sensipar for kidney disease, do not abruptly stop taking your medication, as that can be dangerous. Instead, call your pharmacy immediately to see if your specific bottle has been recalled, if it's one of the recall lots, and get a safe replacement lined up. Now remember, I am not a doctor, nutritionist, dietitian, so please consult your health care provider. The data I'm giving is for information purposes only. And finally today, I want to do a critical recap on some recent high-risk food contamination recalls that are still very active threats to your kitchen. First, a major update on a story we've been actually tracking for weeks. The FDA has officially upgraded the recall on Utz, Zapp's, and Dirty Brand potato chips to a Class 1 designation. As you know, if you watch this channel, a Class 1 recall it's the absolute highest category, okay, that the government issues. And it means there is reasonable probability that eating these products will cause serious health consequences or death. Okay, now that covers nearly 685,000 bags of chips, specifically Big Cheesy and Dirty Brand salt and vinegar, Maui onion, and sour cream and onion flavors, distributed across 35 states. This stems back to that massive salmonella contamination from the California's dairy product facility. Okay, check your pantries. All right, look at the brand names, and if you have these bags, please throw them out or return them for a refund. Now, we also have a fresh wave of biological contamination recalls from the end of June that you need to be aware of, all right? Lascivia Foods has issued a voluntary recall for its soft ricotta and Mexican cottage cheese products. They are sold under the brand names La Colonia, Selectos Latinos, and Clover Hill. They are pulling these cheeses due to a potential contamination with Listeria, a dangerous pathogen that can cause, that can cause severe, life-threatening infections. On top of that, Total Nutrition Incorporated has recalled its TN vitamins, okay? Organic moringa capsules and powder, all right? Routine sampling by the company caught a salmonella contamination inside the supplements. Also, the USDA has issued a sharp public health alert for fresh seasons, ready-to-eat kitchen chicken Caesar wraps. All right, these were sold in 8.7-ounce packages at holiday convenience stores across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Routine testing confirmed the presence of Listeria in these wraps. Now, the USDA didn't request a formal recall only because the official sell-by date was June 24th, meaning the product technically passed its retail shelf life. However, health officials are deeply concerned that these wraps are still sitting inside consumer refrigerators right now. If you bought one of these chicken Caesar wraps recently, do not consume it. Listeria can survive and even multiply in cold refrigeration temperatures, all right? Drop a comment below if you own any of those vehicles or have any of these items in your home. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers.